You face them both. What's the difference between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford?
You kind of use that word different, and different describes the way somebody is, and you're not really being able to describe exactly what they are, so you say that they're different.
Fight fans, welcome back.
And that's exactly what Terence Crawford is to boxing. He's different.
Boxing is buzzing, and everyone has an opinion on the super fight outcome.
Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford?
Crawford.
Oh, Errol Spence.
Errol Spence.
Errol Spence Jr.
Can Errol Spence beat Crawford?
Everybody in the world wants to see them fight.
But nobody truly knows, aside from those who have stood and experienced the speed and power firsthand.
I think that's the fight to make. You know, I can't actually, even though he's stopped me tonight, Terence, I can't sit here and say he would do that to Spence or he'd beat Spence.
Here, we look at the men who fought both Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Welcome to a Motivedia presentation.
Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence will be an explosion. I can guarantee it.
You got to see this guy, Errol Spence. He's putting guys out in training.
This brilliant American.
It's brilliant American, yeah, we're going to see how brilliant he is.
It ended with Errol saying, Sean, you come out to box me on September 28th, I'll knock your ass out.
I heard it. I heard you clearly.
We're going to have to see, he could spar with Mayweather and all that's sparring.
Across the sparring ring or through intense training camps, only a brave few have been willing to go toe-to-toe.
It's no bad blood. You know, we just here working.
In the pro ranks, two men entered the flames of war with both champions.
One of the greatest matchups, not just in this thriving 10-stone 7 division, but at any weight in recent months.
A shard of Sheffield steel, willing to test himself.
I want to shut him up and I'll move on. For Porter, Spence will want the big fight. I want the big boys.
Never been really badly hurt. What an uppercut from Calbrook. Oh, lovely right hand.
And a powerful pressure cooker who dared to be great.
The same way that you called out Danny Garcia, I'm calling you out. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it on. You got the WC belt, I got the IBF belt. We can unify.
And would you like this fight next?
I definitely like that fight next. I love that fight for next year.
All right.
Hey. Do I look worried?
When we turned professional, one of our goals was to win a world championship. And the other goal is to headline, be the guy on the billboard.
Cleveland, Ohio.
He's a top fighter, but he's in with me. When that first bell rings, he's going to know that I'm special. I'm taking over.
Well, this is it for Kell Brook. Time to deliver.
For Kell Brook, the thread runs deep, defeating Sean Porter in 2014, becoming IBF champion on away soil.
He's in my country, my town, and I want him to know he's in front of my fans. They're behind me, and on Saturday night, it's showtime.
Touch him up. Good luck. Come out to the bell. Good work this from Brook. Porter tries to do some razzle-dazzle stuff. Oh, good right uppercut. Porter's in trouble. Brook got him with an uppercut. He's in with a flourish, but he can't get this fella on the floor. He's tough as tungsten, Sean Porter.
By majority decision, and the new...
It's Kell Brook! It's Kell Brook's night!
All them doors have opened, what I kept telling you about. I know we're born to do this. I've come over here, to his backyard, and I'm the new, baby. I'm the champ.
He will fight absolutely anyone. 34-0, unbeaten, unbeatable.
Struggling to capitalize, Kell's desire for greatness led him to middleweight and the feared beast Triple G when Chris Eubank Jr. refused the assignment.
He said to me, just get me the big fight. He said, get me Golovkin. And I sort of went, oh, don't be silly, And I've said it in interviews before, I feel like Kell Brook is unbeatable. But I didn't say that thinking he'd fight Gennady Golovkin.
Many middleweights run away rather than face Gennady Golovkin. You took just a few seconds to accept the challenge. Why?
He's a human being like me with two arms and two legs. He bleeds like me, and I've got the speed and the power to hurt him.
Saturday night, Kell Brook will brutally discover, that it takes more than a 10-week scientific experiment to topple Gennady Golovkin.
A monumental gamble, high stakes, remarkable risk for huge reward. Oh, lovely right hand! I'm amazed, he's standing right in the middle, he's taking it! Kell Brook needs to be careful now.
Brave and competitive until the stoppage, praise and respect came at a cost as Brook left with a career-changing fractured eye socket.
Kell Brook's orbit bone is broken. I had that injury with Miguel Cotto. His eye
The referee didn't see it.
And an uncertain future in the sport.
Too strong, too naturally big. Not great for Brook, just too big.
Do you think it was a mistake to put him in with Golovkin at 160 pounds?
No, not really, because at the time he fought Golovkin, I think he was about 29, 30 years old, and he wasn't getting the career-defining fights that he wanted.
We'll have to do that because I do need I need a big name. I need an exciting fight.
First day back in training today, bit of movement, get a nice sweat on. I'm ready for them big fights early spring next year.
No, I don't think the eye's going to be an issue at all. As far as Kel's concerned, he'll just think he's like Terminator. He had a lot of metal underneath there.
He may be able to survive a little longer, but I think after that fight's over with, he's definitely not going to want to fight here. He's not going to want to fight here. So I'm sure he'll vacate.
Kell Brook back for perhaps the most crucial fight of his life against the hyped American hotshot, Errol Spence Jr.
Everybody is saying how great Errol Spence is in America.
But you know what? He's come back. He's come back to his natural weight to defend his title against one of the best in America.
With less than a year of recuperation, brushing aside the facial damage, Kell sought further challenges.
And I believe once I've beaten him, the boxing world are going to really give me credit once and for all.
This is just a wonderful fight, the best fight in the 147-pound division, no question. And I think one of the best fights in world boxing, Brook v. Spence.
Look what you done started now. Spar with Mayweather and all these, that's sparring. When you get under here and every one of my fans wants his blood and it's a proper fight, that's when we're going to see what it's made of when I hit him on chin with one of these.
21-0 with 18 KOs, hyped from sparring sessions with Money May. Brook's mandatory was a growing stateside phenomenon.
He's got an unblemished record. The thing is with Errol Spence Jr., we don't know how good he really is.
Don't call me in.
Is gonna be
Alright, watch what happens when I get my hands on you, bro.
I don't know what a chocolate. What is a chocolate brownie? What is it?
We're going to make the most incredible chocolate brownie. Yes!
Errol Spence, I hope you're hungry, but I've got plenty of chocolate brownies ready for you.
It's going to be crisp. And it's going to puff up and then it's going to crack.
Watch what happens.
Chocolate brownie. You named it that?
One True Fizz.
That's so lame. Chocolate brownie.
I'm ready to let some chocolate brownies go Saturday night.
You know what a chocolate brownie was?
Nah,
no.
I didn't know what it was.
But you now know what Kell made.
He's the fighting pride of Sheffield, Yorkshire, England.
May 2017, in his hometown, entertaining a hungry challenger.
Watch it, heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch close. It's the litmus test for Errol Spence Jr.
Creating distance, using his wide range of skills, Classy Brook enjoyed early success.
Kell Brook landing some nice shots, but Spencer just sending a nice reply himself.
As Spence upped the pressure, the gap closed, and Kell was floored in round 10.
Oh, Kell Brook's hurt here, and he's down in the 10th round. Is he running on empty now?
Showing tremendous heart, Special K fought back, but he was behind on the cards when trainer Dominic Ingle singled the end in the 11th.
It is all over! Errol Spence Jr.
His man once again suffered eye damage.
The ref didn't stop it. The corner didn't stop it. Mike, I've got a simple question for you. Did Kell Brook quit tonight?
Losing to Golovkin with the eye and then Spence, I wish I could take it back, but it's been done now. There's nothing we can do. It's history.
I wouldn't say, I don't think he had anything left. I was hitting him with a lot of good shots. I think he was fatigued. And, basically, he broke his eye socket again.
He's got demons in his head of what happened last fight, and without a shadow of a doubt, when the eye starts getting bad, he's come to a point, and he's had to ask himself, do I want to carry on, and he stopped, mate, I'm sorry.
I'm a born winner. I'm used to winning, losing the world title in Sheffield. It was hard to get through. Sat there, the phone's not ringing like it used to when I'm world champion. Everyone patting you on the back, you know how it is.
Spending the next few years repairing his ocular injuries while battling inactivity, Kell recorded a trilogy of wins over respectable opponents.
Radchenko took that well right hand. Radchenko goes down. A triumphant return to the ring and in
was merely finding his feet and waiting to return to the level he truly belonged.
You know, he's earned a lot of money in his career, but it's not really about the money. He likes to achieve, he likes the nights, he likes the competition. And there are some big fights out there, so again, it's too early to say at the moment.
That mindset led him overseas, tackling an opponent who had previous form toppling British talent.
But shaken up and getting punched around the ropes here. The new champion of the world! A moment of history for the American.
Displaying impeccable skills and killer instinct, Terence Crawford was savoring a knockout streak that included Kell's UK nemesis.
He smells blood. He's like a shark right now. He knows he's weakening. And I'm talking about Crawford.
I mean, look, the fight was a good fight till it lasted, you know. It was only getting more interesting. I could see Crawford slowing down. It just obviously didn't finish the way I wanted it to finish.
It quit. It looked tired. He said he didn't want it no more. He was getting beat in every department tonight. It was just a matter of time.
Brooks suddenly had the chance to do what Khan could not: halt Crawford's relentless momentum.
You know, I've been wanting this fight for a long time. I'm more than ready for this fight. I'm in the best condition in my life. It's my time to become world champion again, 2-time.
Let's lay it on the line, you know. All I can say is the fans are in for a treat, because I know that he's up for it and he knows I'm up for it.
And he'd more or less have to fight Terence Crawford, a bit like he did Sean Porter, and I'm sure that the Kell Brook who beat Sean Porter would beat Terence Crawford.
And you are heavily favored, but Kell Brook has shown in the past he can really fight. What do you expect Saturday night?
What Vinny State gonna do? Oh, beat your what? You know. Your whole team knows. Yeah, all right.
I know I'm in a tough fight. You know. I said I don't care about none of that you talking about. I'm up tomorrow.
He became a world champ once, and he had titanium fused to his orbital bones twice. Now he's refreshed.
Brook has a brilliant 1-2. It's automatic.
He just scored with it accurately.
Replicating the Porter win was always going to be an uphill task, as Kell entered a sterile ring, void of any confidence-building crowd support.
I did have a little bit of success, but for some reason I didn't feel comfortable to let my hands pop for some reason.
Similar to the early stages of the Spence fight, Kell used his skills to keep it close.
You was trying to catch me coming in, and I was trying to catch you coming in. You wouldn't come in, so it was just like I had to switch my game plan up.
Until Bud caught him with a right hook in the fourth.
As you can see, Kell Brook was moving forward. Crawford timed it over the top with a nice, I would say, jab. Hook.
What wasn't there coming to the ring was a championship mindset to give resistance and fight no matter what.
For me to debate you on this because you've been hit with big shots, I don't think he was mentally able to react in that moment. I think he was so hurt by that shot and the shots that followed it.
At the mercy of such a devastating destroyer, Brook barely knew where he was as Crawford finished the job.
And still champion of the world, Crawford! He's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world for a reason.
What's up, man?
Yeah,
you
good fight, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Timing is good.
Thanks. Yours is too.
Yeah, he can pop as well, obviously.
I told you.
Will we see Bud in the ring with Errol Spence in the near future?
Errol Spence will try to avoid Terence Crawford as long as he can.
See the best out of all the guys you fought?
He looked there, but I can't still stand here and say it's better than Spence. We're all great finishers, and he landed tonight.
I knew we were going to be sharp, but I think just the way that he could switch in a fight, so naturally, Errol Spence is more grinding, more thumping kind of power. It is more sharp and snapping.
Y'all demanded it. The media, the public, the people. When y'all demand things, it happens.
We've been demanding it.
We have.
Who's the biggest puncher out of Spence and Crawford? Being him there with
I'd say Spence.
Spence?
Yeah.
I feel like Kell Brook was on the verge of retiring anyway. He'd been broken twice.
While both of Brook's performances offer a perfect point of comparison,
I got the job done faster and quicker than he did.
His abilities are wholly different from the man he originally relieved of a world title.
You, Danny, Kell Brook, Keith Thurman, we're coming up
on what could be a really special time in this division.
Styles make fights, and Showtime Shawn Porter's aggressive, smothering approach would present a whole different set of problems for the dynamic duo to deal with.
Another right cross by Porter. Malignaggi in trouble on the ropes. He goes down for the second time in the fight.
Similar to the classic away victory over Brooke, it would be Spence who would test himself first against their mutual opponent.
Tell me if I'm wrong. We still friends, or did we sort of shift to a little bit of foes?
Seeking to unify his IBF 147-pound title with Shawn Porter's WBC crown.
You ain't gotta look left, you ain't gotta look right. We're both ready for this. This is a collision course that's been waiting to happen. You just let me know when, baby. Let me know when. I'm expecting to break Errol Spence in a lot of different ways. You know, I think that Errol is feeling himself. You know, when you're dominant, when you are champion right now, you know, I get how that could happen, but time to calm down, baby.
Headlining in Los Angeles on Fox pay-per-view, a step closer to undisputed for the winner. The stakes were high.
That's the question in everyone's mind. Can Errol Spence handle my aggression?
Is it man down season?
Ended with Errol saying, Shawn, come out to box me on September 28th, I'll knock your ass out.
I heard it. I heard you clearly.
Tell me how this one ends. Errol, you first.
I'm knocking him out cold.
Sean?
Showtime Shawn Porter leaves the building as the unified champion of the world. It remains the same. I am who I've always been. You've never seen anybody knock me out.
For the unified welterweight championship of the world.
Away we go. Stand on for 12 rounds here at Staples Center. Well, Spence off balance.
Seeking to roughhouse the Texan early, Porter's athletic abilities created a barnstorming affair as the bout wore on.
Oh, big left by Porter. Big left hook. Errol Spence leading with that left hand lander right on the hook. This is classic Shawn Porter, though. You know, where he's all over you. He's swarming you.
Shawn made things extremely difficult for Spence, who scored an important 11th round knockdown to secure a split decision win.
Warning.
Shawn Porter was in the middle of a punch right there, and he got caught right on the chin.
There were moments where I could have changed my cadence, changed my rhythm, and I didn't do it on those marks.
Porter's fighting all the way to the wire.
Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter go the distance.
Errol Spence Jr.
You're not gonna be at pay-per-view. I bet my next fight be pay-per-view. You need to take out that green jacket because I just took your bill.
It's fly,
Thank you. Time to go home. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Rematch.
Some people feel like he wasn't the same after Spence. It was such a war you went through.
I said he has a lot of heart, man. He always comes to fight. He's a true warrior. And, you know, he came back swinging. So, you know, I didn't expect nothing less for him just to stand his ground.
When there's always room on the internet. When you fight Spence, you're never the same.
In October 2019, horrifying news broke that Spence had been involved in a high-speed single-vehicle collision, sustaining a catalog of injuries.
It was a violent crash overnight as a Ferrari flipped on a Dallas street. In that car was Errol Spence Jr. He's the boxing champion from DeSoto.
Suddenly, not only was his boxing career under threat, but also his ability to walk, talk, and properly function.
The craziest story in boxing of the year is Errol Spence Jr. surviving that Ferrari crash. When you see that car flip like that, and the fact that he got out of it with like a chipped tooth,
the unified champion's future became riddled with questions.
It is career threatening, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's going to come all the way back, but those two scenarios took a lot out of him.
When you were flying through the air, not knowing if you're going to live,
right?
You don't know how people adjust to that.
I took some time off, and now I think I'm rejuvenated and I'm ready to get back in the gym and train hard. And like I said, I know them guys wish that I wasn't back so fast, but I am back. And I want to fight the top names in the division. I do want to be the undisputed welterweight champion of the world.
When the conversation first came up about Porter and it got real serious, I seen a different Terence Crawford.
2 years after Spence recorded his victory over Porter, another comparative opportunity arose as Crawford saw out 2021 against the Ohio Mauler.
The WBO welterweight champion of the world, Terence Bud Crawford, puts his title on the line against two-time champion, Showtime Shawn Porter.
People ask the same question all the time. Is it, how was the camp? And then you get the same answer. The camp was great. Everybody say that, right? Nah.
But my dad was pushing so hard because he looked at Crawford like Crawford was the big bad one.
Vice versa. No, he can't look at me and say, I'm about to beat your ass, and I'm going to believe that. And he knows that, which is why he wouldn't even dare do it.
You know what I mean? And I didn't. I tried to look at Crawford like he was just, somebody else that was going to get it.
Shawn had labored at times against Sebastian Formella, leading some to ask whether Crawford could not only beat him more impressively than Errol, but do the unthinkable and stop the immovable object.
Everybody say, oh, well, why you throwing fire with fire when you can just outbox him? Because I love it.
Sometimes from a stare down, uh-oh, here it comes. You could even see from the stare down. And then Shawn, who's normally a guy talking to the media and everything, no, he's blowing off interviews. He means business.
We expected for Shawn to sit there and stare at Terence, have an eye of the tiger. Time to go. Time to go now.
12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Welterweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated.
On the night, Crawford ticked every box, soaking up shots, working out Porter's moves, and putting him to the sword. It was a peak performance.
We knew that we could box with him, but we didn't want that to be the only way we won the fight. We didn't want it to be the thinking match that it ended up being.
We saw Shawn dig down even deeper. Terence had to make another adjustment and another adjustment before he was eventually able to,
By the 10th round, with Shawn on the retreat, Crawford stepped in and forced Kenny Porter to rescue his son.
His father says it's over!
I just saw things that told me that it was time. Please, criticize me. Go right ahead. I love it.
Sending shockwaves across the welterweight division, Errol Spence was the main recipient of Bud's statement message.
Who do you want next?
Well, y'all already know who I want. I've been calling them out all day.
He didn't prepare like I wanted him to prepare. He fought a great fighter. The guy's super sharp, and it's like fighting this guy blindfolded.
He's my #1 pound for pound, just put it that way. After this performance, man, the welterweight division, in my opinion, is the best division in boxing. Shawn Porter's been getting in with that talent. None of those guys stopped him.
He makes the right moves. He does the right things. He stays so comfortable and so confident in who he is and what he does as a fighter.
Versatility. Started off as an orthodox, switched to southpaw. Straight away, you could see the tempo.
Look how Spence dealt with Porter versus Crawford. That says a lot. Current form is important.
And made the necessary adjustments, and I thought it was a close fight coming down the stretch.
What do you think is the best next move for Crawford?
The truth, Spence Jr.
Terence, after a while where you were, done with the Spence fight, but from what you said just now, it sounds like you might want that fight once more. Do you want that fight still?
Man, like I said before, man, I don't need Spence. I've been the #1 guy in the division since I came here.
Other fighters have found themselves locked in the Spence-Crawford firing line.
And I hate comparing fights. I hate doing boxing math. It's Crawford was able to stop Spence, Porter, but Porter gave Spence trouble. It doesn't really work like that. Anyone who knows boxing knows that.
Having twice fought Terence in the amateurs, Danny Garcia prepared to rekindle that rivalry before a 2019 date evaporated.
Yeah, we fought twice in the amateurs, but it was 1-1. I felt like I won both. I But
So how do you see that fight between Errol Spence and Bud Crawford?
Both guys are mentally strong. Both guys are skilled. And I feel like whoever wants it more and feels better that day is going to win.
Neither fighter has been knocked down as a professional. These guys are both mentally and physically tough.
Losing in Spence's comeback bout, Garcia narrowly favors Errol.
In the beginning, it was 50-50, but for some reason now I'm leaning towards more Spence. I feel like he's going to be strong, too strong, too big.
The
It shows Crawford's meticulous improvements that he would now be favorite over Garcia, and also Cuba's Yordenis Ugas, who also defeated him in the amateurs.
Fight for 27,000, 15 years. Different.
And now making his way to the ring.
When Yordenis Ugas posted those pictures of his face and talked about his ribs and his nose, he was warning Terence Crawford about the skill set and the power of Errol Spence Jr.
Both Errol and Bud boast a clinical edge, a fascinating clash of styles designed to fuse beautifully into a generational decider.
I don't think I'm in his head. I just think that it's been a long time coming. For whatever reason, it didn't happen, but he took the bait, and now July 29th, I'm gonna get him to the bank.
Only in battle shall they be separated.
With a small, very minute margin between both of them, they're both unbelievable fighters. So it's going to come down to the night.
If your brain has turned into a potato, then making it into French fries, golden brown and delicious, is no problem. We're really aiming to turn fans' brains into onions, sharp and multi-layered. But no matter what vegetables are in people's heads, if they box, we'll serve them up on a platter in the next Motividia presentation.